Hey everybody, Retro Gaming Ninja coming back to you tonight. It's been a while since I've posted any videos. I apologize for that, but I'm going to be doing a lot of catch-up videos for us. First thing I want to do tonight is walk you guys through something that I needed to do for a while. These are my Astro A50s that I use for gaming, but I also use for recording video audio while I'm gaming. I noticed over the last month or two they would turn off about every 5 minutes. Doing some research on that, I learned that this is more than likely caused by the battery not holding a charge. So I went through and I did all the troubleshooting. I did the reset of the actual headsets, reset them back to factory default. That didn't work. Made sure they were fully charged. Charged them for a day. I tested them with the voltage meter, make sure they're discharging right, the amperage is right that they're discharging, but yet they still keep cycling. So what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to replace the battery with a new battery. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that, and I'm going to do a little light soldering. Fingers crossed that we do it good, but we'll see. So here's the replacement battery that I've gotten. It says it's high capacity, but it's really just the same size as the one that's currently in there. And the one that's in there is an 800 milliamp battery, which is what we're going to be replacing it with. So we're going to get to that once we do the teardown. Now the teardown for this thing is a little complicated. So if you follow the instructions you find online, they tell, well, that's part of it, but anyway, they tell you that you have to take off your phone cover. Under the phone cover there are going to be 4 screws in here that you have to remove. Then there's more screws you have to remove. But here's what I want to show you guys. If you take off that phone cover, you're going to have a nightmare stretching it back onto the hard plastic cover here. You can see where these 4 slots are located. Okay? The easiest thing to do is to take you a screwdriver and kind of push up on the foam until you find where the screw holes are. And then you can leverage your screwdriver in and you can unscrew your screws this way. And that would keep you from having to pull this foam cover off all the way. We've already gotten that taken off, so let's walk through the next pieces. To get to the battery, believe it or not, is a lot of work. The next thing, and it's not really easy to do this, so I'll turn this one out of the way. The next thing we have to do is we have to remove this inner cover here. Now this, when you pull this off, you're going to have to stick this back down later. There are 2 screws that you're actually after. So you have to pull that off, and I know it looks horrible and sounds horrible because you're actually tearing it right here a little bit, but that's just residual. There are 2 screws in here that have to come out. These 2 screws release the back cover where the microphone boom is, where the battery is actually located. Okay? So once you have these out, try not to get my hand too far in the way here, like so. Then this comes off. Be really careful because, as you can tell, there are wires located in here. Okay, and we don't want to break any wiring in your headsets because A50s are still not very cheap, believe it or not. Okay. Now once we have the wiring off, there are going to be another set of screws that have to come out. They hold this back piece, and I'm telling you, you're going to need to have like 5 hands to do all this. They hold this back cover, this little piece of plastic right here, onto the actual headsets. Your battery is on this side, believe it or not, which is really strange, but it is located on this side. So let me turn this back down so I don't tear my cord on my speaker. And I believe the 2 screws we need is this one here. And this one here. So 1, 2. Now I'm going to turn this over just so I can take those screws out and get them out of the way because I'm going to lose the screws. My table's not quite level, which is kind of interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and this way. You might be able to see a little bit better without that in the way. I like that shot better. Okay. So our 2 screws are still here, so we didn't lose those. Here's one of the other screws from the inside. And the other one is kind of trapped by this wire right here. But we're not gonna mess with that too much. We'll just make sure it's unscrewed. Alright, there it is. Now, this should, put this back in, you'll notice there's going to be a lot of turning involved. If we move our mic boom, we have to take the mic boom off. I think we may have to address that mic boom. So these are the battery wires that we're going to be soldering right here. Okay, can you see that? So if you look at that, these are the battery wires and they go underneath, back underneath this little cover here, which is what we're working to get off. Alright, let me zoom back up a little bit so you guys can see. I'm thinking we are going to have to address this. So, phone boom connects to this circuit board here. Now, I really don't want to have to take that boom out, but it is definitely in the way, keeping us from opening up this case back here. See, we can almost get in there, yet we have the microphone boom that's in the way. See? So, I'm thinking we will have to take that circuit board off to get the boom undone. Right. Looking at it, it appears there's a screw here, down underneath this wire here, and here. So let's go ahead and pull those carefully. This one's in an awkward place, kind of have to angle in to get to it, which means putting it back in is going to be fun. So we have those 2 screws. Let's take a look here and see if this opens. Yep, that lifts up. We don't want to pull too far because there's 2 tiny wires right here that run down to that microphone boom. That's your mic. Okay. Let's see. There it is. Oh, wow, that was really difficult. I think there might be a clip in here. So let's turn our boom mic. Let's lift up this cover. Hold this down so we got room and we should be able to turn. And there is the battery. Now that battery is going to be glued down. So that's going to be one of the challenges. First thing we're going to do is we're going to unsolder it. So let's get that started. Now, I haven't done a lot of soldering, not a professional at all, and not real sure how this is going to go. We shall see. I'll try to give you guys the best camera angle I can, but when desoldering small things, it may my hand could possibly get in the way. Alright, we're just warming up our soldering iron. And like I said, we're going to, first one we're going to desolder is going to be this black one here. So let's see how we're looking. Not quite getting there. So it will take just a minute for this soldering iron to hook up or heat up. This is not a very expensive soldering iron. This is just a a starter soldering iron. I dabble a little bit sometimes in soldering, but I'm not, like I said, not a professional at all. Don't do a lot of soldering. There we go. There's the first one. I want to move him out of the way. There's our next one. And finally, our last one. Alright. Now that is still a battery that will have charge in it, so we need to be careful with touching these wires together. I don't want anything to, short out or anything like that. So what we probably will do is take some tape, just some normal tape here, and I'm going to just kind of cover up one of the leads here, that way we don't ground out on it. That's the last thing we want to do is ground out on this tape. And of course, I have, what I'm using here is double-sided tape, because I'm going to be using the double-sided tape to stick the battery back down once we get the battery out on the backside. Okay. A little piece here for the other one. Alright, now we'll slide this back on again, do our whole flip thing, and now we have to get the battery out. The battery, as I said before, is glued down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just my tweezers and get them in there and kind of work on that battery a little bit. I'm not going to put too much pressure on it because I don't want the battery to pop or explode. But it should, with just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of prying, come right out. And there you go. There is the old battery. I know it's hard to see because that light is awful bright. Let's see if we can do it this way. It's not going to focus, but that's okay. Anyway, that's the old battery. Now, let's get our new battery. Here's our new battery. And the wiring is a little bit different, if you notice. Not nearly as thick of a gauge as a wire. Colors of the wiring is a little bit different. We have red, white, and black on the new battery, and we have red, yellow, and black on the old battery. Same concept though. So what we have to do, this has caps and tape on it, so we're going to take it, just kind of make them smaller because they're ginormous, and we have to feed them into this hole. But we don't need anything. We have to feed it into this hole right here. We'll lay our battery down in there like this. It's a good fit. That's a good sign. And there was already some sticky tape left in there, so I don't think I need to add any more. So I think we're going to be okay with that. Alright, let me zoom in a little bit. So see, it fits in there quite nice. Alright, let's put everything back here. Careful not to drop your speaker too much. Spin him over. And now we're going to try to get this soldered back in. Alright. Now the way this was before was red, yellow, black. So we had, see if you can see those 3 dots there. Can you focus for me tonight? You're not going to focus, are you? My camera does not want to focus tonight, but that's okay. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so we had red on this first one, yellow, and then black. So we're going to start with the black. And my pads look okay. So I'm not terribly worried about those. So I'll pull off that. Now I'm going to take, I'm going to tin that wire a little bit. So I'm going to load up my solder, a little bit of solder on here. So just a little bit of solder on there. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to just kind of tin the wire a little bit, like so, being careful not to overheat it. Then with the pliers, the tweezers, take and put it down, and a little bit more solder here. Okay. There we go. Give him a little tug to make sure he's in there good. And that's our black one. We're going to do the same process on the white and the red. Basically, we're going to take and pull this protective cover off. Okay, we're going to get our solder ready here. Alright. And there, it's not too hot. Once again, we're going to tin up that wire, so we're going to add some solder. Not a whole lot, just a bead. And then we'll tin that wire. Just a little bit. Now we're going to take and spin this guy back over the other way. Like so. Alright, let's get him in there. And there's our white one. Now we will do our red one. See that white one, a little bit of a tug. That piece in there. Let's do our red one. Spinning him a little bit. Making sure my iron is just a little bit cleaned up here before we do this. So like I said before, a little bit of tinning on the wires. Doesn't take much. These are very small gauged wires, so it's not going to take you a whole lot to do the tin. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a twist. That way I can get it in there. Alright. Like I said, I'm not a professional at soldering. And it's really hard to solder when you can't see what you're doing. But hopefully everything looks good. Looking at it from here with the zoom in, I don't think there's too much more. Let's see if we get a little bit closer look for us. I mean, not the best solder job, right? But the wires are connected. So, all that's left to do is to reassemble. The first thing I'm going to do is make my soldering iron safe, because I don't want to burn the tarnation out of myself. So we'll move that out of the way and turn the power off. So now we have to do everything in reverse. So now we'll flip it over. Battery's still in there. We'll spin this guy around, put him back down where he goes, spin that around, give it a nice push just to make sure it's in there. Alright, we'll spin that around, get this old battery out of the way. Now it's basically just assembling. So that bottom plate is going to try to fall off. So I'm going to have to kind of push up on it as I screw in the screws for this. So, there we go. I'm having to try to line up this bottom plate here on the back. I think that's it. Let's give it a shot. I think that one went in, that's good. And I heard my headset beep, and so I turned it on, but I didn't. But let's see what we can do. That one's in. That one's in. These other two that were down here and back here we're going to do next. The great thing is the battery, once you have it sealed in there, it's not going to move around a lot. The only thing that's going to move is the boom back and forth, so you know that's a good thing. So now we have to get to this one that was kind of in a weird spot here. I believe he was like behind this black cord here. There we go. Awesome. Now, we're going to put this back on. We're going to put in this screw here and this screw here. And then we'll do these screws here. One thing I did notice here is that all the screws are same size, so that's really good for us. We don't have to worry about, drawing a screw map or anything like that. We just got to make sure we get them screwed back in. Okay. Alright. Now those are the 4 slots. If we look at our headset, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, so there should be screws that go in these two. There. And we need to do this one here, which is a little difficult, but that one doesn't act like it wants to start, which is alright. Alright. Let's get our cover back on here. And then we're going to do this real easily. We're going to take and do some double-sided tape, like so. We're just going to put some double-sided tape down. Not covering up our speaker, because we don't want to cover up this speaker part. That's where you're going to get all your audio. But we are going to do it well enough that we are going to be able to stick that cover back down. So these sides over here, what I would recommend is just doing a really small piece, like so. Of course, with double-sided tape, some of the problem is getting it off your fingers. There we go. So let's just use our tweezers. Take a thin piece like so. And we will hopefully get the tweezers on it. Very hard to see on that edge. There. Alright. Take our foam, and you can kind of see how it was. The black side goes out. we're going to lay it down over the top. And we're just going to give it a good press all the way around. And there you go. Next, we're going to reattach this guy. So you can kind of see where they are. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is start one in here first. Because this should go in there like that. I know I have one up here. So I'm going to take and get this screw started. Like so. See now the screw's sticking out. I'm going to do that with all 4 of them. Just kind of get them where they need to go before I put it on. That way I know where they're at. So you can see the hole there. Seeing the hole and getting the screw in the hole are both 2 different things though. But this is better than you ripping your cover off, I can guarantee you that. There's the next one. They're not real easy to get started either. Well, this is a lot more difficult than I said it was going to be, guys. I really don't want to take that cover off. But we may need to. The problem is we will never get that cover back on if we take it off. That is just the problem. Well, let's do it the way they recommend. How about that, guys? So we're back, and we took the cover off so you can see the holes. And I'll show you the troubles you're going to have trying to put this cover back on. The main thing you're going to run into is that it does not like to stretch. My headsets are not the newest headsets. I've had them for a while. They were actually a birthday gift from my brother. He actually upgraded his and kind of just gave me these guys. So we're almost done. And then what we'll do is I will charge this guy up, and we will see if it actually holds the charge compared to what it was holding. And if it works, then I'll be recording audio with this in the future as well, so you guys will have a cleaner audio. Now, here's the fun part. Do you see that little bitty groove right there that runs all the way around? That's where we have to get this back into, this little lip here. So I will start by wiggling the bottom end, and I will kind of work up right there a little bit. While holding. Then you have to take and pull and pray that you can line up the groove with that little flexible lip, which is almost impossible. That's why I said I really did not want to take that lip off, because see, I'm not getting anywhere. So I know the bottom's on. Now I'm going to hope and pray that I can get the top on. There's the top. Kind of got to have like 40 fingers to do this. There's the next one. And you just got to kind of work it around. And when you get it in the groove, you got to kind of hold down with the next set of fingers, the next finger. And then you got to pull and pinch and pray that you are able to get enough sorry about the camera, guys. Enough of this thing on here to where you can lift that up over the edge, get it in there. One more little spot right there. Come on. There you go. Not quite as good as it should be, but I believe it's in there all the way around. It is. It looks a little tacky right there, but I will take it. And there you go. So hopefully that segment wasn't too blurry. I'll show it to you again while I can see what's going on with the viewfinder. We were able to get it in that slot all the way around. Yeah, right there. So there they are. We've replaced the battery on these guys. Now we have to charge the battery up. And like I said, I'll give you guys a progress report. Sorry if the video got blurry a little bit. Working with this camera is kind of not the best thing, and I've bumped it a few times. My apologies. I'm going to throw up some more retro play. I'm actually going to play some of the Super Nintendo games that they took on, added to the Nintendo Switch. Great time to capture some footage off those guys. As well, I'll do some, pretty obscure retro play as well. What we call classic play on the channel. And then we're going to be trying to get back to some other games that we can find to throw in there. I do have an unboxing video coming up that is not going to be really game related, but still is a cool item. But anyway, I'm rambling on. This has been a long enough video. Thanks for watching, guys. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. And as always, we'll see you next time.